MERS News. And by the way, the MERS News quote of the day, Wendy Block, the vice president of the Michigan Chamber of Commerce, who happens to be on our AT&T line right this very moment. Welcome to the airwaves.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
The MERS News quote of the day makes you more immortal than you already were. You were talking about a video game from 1983 and labor policy. What did you say, and why was it so sensational?
Yeah, so last week, legislators who support giving Michigan's 1,800-plus local units of government the green light to pass their own employment laws were on the state capitol and playing video games, actually Star Wars video games, and wearing Star Wars hats, kind of making fun of their desire to kill some legislation that we support, but that would give the authority to local governments to do this. And we just are not so sure it's a great idea to be making a joke about Michigan's economic future, really concerned about this piece of legislation and legislators' desire to make fun of it.
Well, we would like to have adults in these positions, of course. And in fact, it would be nice to have some people with some actual business experience from time to time. And that is your next move with the Great Lakes Growth Coalition.
It is. So you're exactly right. I mean, definitely would like to see, kind of people who are acting as adults in our governing positions. Certainly it's helpful when a legislator has signed not only the back of the check, but the front of the check as well. But over the last 10 months, we have been working as a business community with legislators in the new majority parties in Lansing, working in the middle and trying to find a path for good outcomes for our members, for our states, for our citizens. But last week, we launched what's called the Great Lakes Growth Coalition because we've been hearing from small business owners across the state who are extremely frustrated with the onslaught of anti-business, anti-growth public policy proposals that are pending in Lansing, and just really want to create an avenue for those business owners to make their voices heard and to talk about, a vision for growing our state and putting it on the path to economic and population growth.
Sometimes people are dubious about their news these days, and they don't know who to believe and what the spin is. What do Michigan residents, those of us listening and paying taxes and working, how do we feel about the state's economy?
Yeah, I think a lot of people are still frustrated with the economic situation, right? You hear good, positive jobs reports, but we still have a major workforce crisis in our state. And certainly, I know when I go to the grocery store and I buy groceries for my family, every time I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe how much this costs. Same thing as, when I fill up my gas. Right, we just need to do things to increase Michigan's economic opportunity for all. And that's really what we're focused on here, is that there's really been this mad rush to enact a number of bills that we believe would put Michigan's economy back. And we really feel like there's an opportunity for both sides to come together and work in the middle to try and to find real solutions that will help Michigan grow its economy, grow its population. And really when business wins, families win, communities win, because without business, you don't have workers, right? And so there just seems to be this rhetoric that you either need to be pro-business or pro-worker, that the two don't work together. But we would fundamentally disagree with that as just kind of a starting point for these conversations.
3 out of 4 Michigan residents think our economy is stagnant or getting worse. 3 out of 4 in the survey.
Yeah. I don't know that I disagree with that, right? Just when I talk to my friends and my peers, I think there is a general feeling that, the cost of everything is increasing. A lot of employers have tried to do really good things in terms of wage increases, but inflation is outpacing those things. So people are actually seeing less money in their checkbook at the end of the month, despite having received a raise. And it's hard for businesses to raise their prices on things because they don't want the pushback from their customers. They maybe want to keep their customers, right? And so there's a lot of concerns here, right? And this public policy is so intertwined with all of this, right? That it's not just done in a vacuum, but every little lever that the legislature pulls affects Michigan's opportunity for growth.
The Great Lakes Growth Coalition created, including Josh Lunger in Grand Rapids at the Grand Rapids Chamber, too. Thank you, Wendy.